Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago, Finance Minister Davendranath Tancoo says the payment of back pay owed to teachers will not be completed by the end of this month, even as revised salaries have already begun to reach educators. His comments come amid renewed concern from the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association tutor, which recently confirmed that teachers are expected to receive updated salaries by month's end, but noted that there was no clear indication that arrears would be paid at the same time. Responding to questions from Guardian Media, the Kakash Media of Trinidad and Tobago, the PNM Mako Media of Trinidad and Tobago via WhatsApp yesterday, Tancoo said tutor itself had acknowledged that new salaries were already being paid, but explained that the process of calculating arrears remains ongoing within the Ministry of Education. In recent weeks, Tutors President Crystal Arch urged the government to expedite the process, calling for additional resources to ensure teachers, particularly in Tobago, receive both their salaries and back pay without further delay. Tancoo told Guardian Media that he will look into the claims about the delayed payments to Tobago teachers made by Arch. Tancoo further suggested that union officials were aware of the timeline for arrears and reiterated the government's commitment to honoring its obligations. The finance minister also took aim at the former People's National Movement administration, accusing it of finalizing agreements without putting systems in place to implement them. According to Tancoo, the current government, led by Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, is working to rebuild relations among workers, businesses, and the state. Now, as much as I don't really support Tancoo in general, he is making sense of what he's saying here. It's all about process at times. It takes a while to be able to end up giving the back pay and so forth. You remember, even when it was pertaining to the PSA, they weren't sure if they were going to receive their back pay in time for Christmas, and they ended up just getting a portion of it anyhow. But remember, those arrangements were made between the PSA and the government directly, and everything was put in place one time. With the PNM, they just started to make arrangements because they wanted to win the elections and make agreements quick, but they didn't put anything in place. Now, am I saying that it shouldn't have been done in a much more timely manner under UNC? Definitely. I think it could have happened. All these different arrangements could have taken place in a shorter space of time. Nevertheless, better late than never. And at the end of the day, also common sense will tell you that everyone would not have been able to be paid at the same time, and back pay would not have been able to be given or distributed at the same time, because PNM left the UNC with a bankrupt treasury. Yesterday, opposition leader and leader of the PNM, Penelope Beckles, posted a response to Rowley's claims that he was never invited to the political party's 70th anniversary. The recent developments surrounding delivery of an invitation to Dr. Keith Rowley, our former political leader and Prime Minister, for our 70th anniversary celebration, present a unique opportunity for the People's National Movement to continue strengthening our internal process and rebuilding our movement. She went on to say, I have been in direct communication with Dr. Rowley, following which I have initiated a review of the circumstances with a view to ensuring that appropriate systems are put in place to prevent any similar situation arising in the future. But just what day it was, you released a statement showing that that a letter was written to him and that it was delivered to his home, his place of residence. So what are you saying now? That you were lying then? Are you admitting that you were lying, Penny? Or that your officials were lying? Or are you saying that there was a misunderstanding and that they thought that they delivered it, but no one delivered it? What are you really doing, Penny? Are you just deciding because of pressure from within your own party to submit to Rowley yet again? You are the new leader of the People's National Movement. You think Rowley would have ever submitted to you? You think Rowley would have ever said, you know what, I made a mistake, sorry, we are going to rectify this now? You really believe that? Come on. I mean, you actually showed the public the letter that was sent to Rowley. And all of a sudden now you are saying that some issue came up. So you're telling us that the person that was given the responsibility to hand deliver that letter to Rowley didn't go ahead and do so. Well, if that is the case, then let the public know when you identify that individual and that some sort of disciplinary action will take place. Are you going to do that, Penelope Beckles? Are you going to admit that to the public? Or are you just playing games in order to please Rowley's very huge support base within the PNM? With an investment of over $970,000, recreational grounds now boast high-powered lighting designed to extend community ties and sporting activities among young people. And I've been speaking about that for a long time now, many months now, many moons now, that we need to restore, we need to build new community centers, get the youths back involved in sporting activities, other positive extracurricular activities, so that they will keep them off of the streets. Idle hands, people. So when it is you get them involved in these things, and you also have counseling sessions, bring in the police also to not terrorize anybody, but to communicate with them and instill proper morals and values into them. Remove gang culture from within our communities. When you do that, the youth will begin to follow a positive path instead, and they will have hope of being able to follow and have a normal life and get a normal job instead of joining a gang. The project under the Ministry of Public Utilities is implemented by the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission. This simple thing as putting lights, but make sure that the grounds people feel more safe when it is they are around that area, especially in the evening time, night time. And the youth will be able to play football, cricket, whatsoever. And as I said before, you need to have more than just that. You need to have community centers where actual programs, ongoing programs will be taking place on a weekly basis to get the youth involved.
At a cost of $973,217 TT dollars, the Kakwe's recreational grounds has been transformed. The new lighting breathes life into a once dim space where residents gather for recreational activities and sport. TNTech chairman Anil Kamal noted that this project aligns with the Commission's purpose, ensuring that homes, schools, and public spaces have the infrastructure to thrive, ultimately improving the lives of citizens.
With 48 high-powered 1500-watt sporting lighting fixtures on 16 centimeters poles, this facility, with its own switch room, is well equipped to expand opportunities for support, recreation, community gathering, and youth development. But these lights are more than equipment. They represent TNTech's broader mission to deliver world-class electricity service to communities and drive national development.
Minister in the Ministry of Public Utilities, Clyde Elder, explained that at the heart of this project is young people, as well as investing in the community at large.
We are standing in a beautiful lit facility that offers young children and young people extended opportunities to play, to grow, and to enjoy the space in a safe and healthy way. This is how we create positive pathways for the future. The illumination of this ground is not just about installing lights. It is about investing in the people of Ikakas and the wider Point Fortin community. It is about creating a space where young people can train, compete, and dream.
He added that well-equipped sports facilities strengthen community bonds and encourage youth participation.
Sport teaches discipline. It builds teamwork. It develops resilience. It keeps our youth engaged and open doors to opportunity, whether in athletics, education, or leadership. When we invest in our communities in this way, when we create spaces that bring people together, everybody benefits. These lights installed by TNTech under the ministry's purview will extend the hours during which members of this community can gather safely, exercise, and host activities that strengthen community bonds.
Member of Parliament for Point 14 Ernesto Kizar commended the project's completion, noting that it signifies a meaningful recognition of rural areas.
particular project is a symbol of this government's determination to touch the lives of every single citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, particularly the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who live in rural communities, in communities like ours, because I live in the constituency of Point Forte, and constituencies who for quite a while have not been given the type of attention they deserve.
To usher in the new project, a football match kicked off under the lights, with residents gathered to enjoy the newly illuminated grounds. Faith Chariot, TTT News.
PNM's attorneys Randall Mitchell and Stuart Young, Zami Young, have filed a Freedom of Information request calling on the National Gas Company, NGC, to give detailed information on the hiring of Progressive Democratic Patriots PDP leader Watson Duke as an advisor consultant to the NGC. Did the PNM and these individuals in the PNM care about all the non-disclosure agreements when their emperor was in office for the past 9.5 years? You see the hypocrisy with the PNM? Telling you we're living in a very double standard world. And of course, the Kakash media will be in full support of the transparency and accountability issues, and concerns, people. Yes, they are so concerned now. They were quite compliant and submissive while Emperor Rowley was in office too. Regional news up next. Roof improvements prioritized in development plans for East Rumvelt. President Dr. Irfan Ali said he has taken note of requests from vulnerable families in East Rumvelt for roof improvements, emphasizing that the matter will be prioritized with a view of bringing relief to those persons. Irfan Ali seeking the needs of all the peoples of his country. President Ali, along with several members of his cabinet, engaged residents during a walkabout on Thursday in the Georgetown community. There are some families that raised with us roof improvements. There are some families that raised with us roof improvements. So we are going to issues. We are going to look at those roof improvements, the drainage, the sanitation, and then recreational facility, the president went on to say. Aside from this rapid housing drive, the government has placed emphasis on providing relief for families. In this year's national budget, 7.5 billion Guyanese dollars has been allocated to support home construction and improvements, particularly for vulnerable families, those in the poorer class. The program includes the continuation of the steel and cement subsidy for house foundations, assistance for home improvements, support for completion of partially built homes, construction of core homes, and funding for hinterland housing initiatives. Veteran trade unionist John Levy has poured cold water on Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holder's announcement of a reduction in housing interest rates for some civil servants, arguing that the National Housing Trust, NHT, is being misused. I wonder if they cared about it when the other party was in office, though. Levy, General Secretary of the Union of Clerical, Administrative, and Supervisory Employees told the Jamaica Gleaner yesterday that successive administrations have tinkered with the trust in ways that satisfy only a limited group of the population. Now, I'm not doubting that to an extent, but did you have those concerns before? But I mean, Alger Holness has been in office for 10 years now. Levy described the move as the haul and pulling of the trust, which is funded by mandatory monthly contributions from employers, employees, and self-employed individuals. Holness, who was making his contribution to the 2026-2027 budget debate in the House of Representatives earlier in the evening, said while his administration works to increase housing supply, it is also working to ensure that those houses built are accessible to Jamaicans who need them the most. I don't really care about all these different issues, as long as the poor people benefit and end up having a shelter over their head. I am saying that. He said that effective July 1st, 2026, teachers, nurses, firefighters, and members of the security and defense forces would benefit from a special reduced mortgage interest rate on their length of based on their length of service. I don't see an issue with that. If there's some sort of bureaucracy taking place or some type of corruption taking place, root it out, get rid of it. But the decision that Andrew Holness has made here is a good one. The Barbados Fire Service is reporting 17 house fires so far this year, including Saturday's blaze at Skeets Road, Bank Hall, St. Michael. The service is urging residents to exercise greater vigilance and reminded the public to ensure all appliances are switched off. In the latest fire, 4 people were displaced and 2 others sustained injuries. It's really sad when people lose their homes, and I hope that the government can help them to rebuild to some extent. I mean, sometimes people do make mistakes. They have that compassion as well outside here. Of course, private sector may assist as well. You can't just say, well, you made that mistake, so you're on your own. At the end of the day, the people voted for you, what? This is the third consecutive time, Prime Minister Amir Motley, to help your people.
Today's Math Day, the culmination of Math Week. The theme was Mathematics and Hope. We would have had a series of activities. The students would have brought in projects and they would have been showcased today. We would have had a song that was composed by 2 of our teachers, Mrs. Canterbury Hines and Mr. Kadagan.
Okay, Ms. Kadagan, go ahead, yeah.
Alright, so I am Miss Gibson and I am a member of the committee, the math committee. So we're doing a number of activities where you have robotic displays, you have mathematic related games, rhymes, riddles, poems, and the display of math shirts, t-shirts. The students are engaging in hands-on activities to understand the concept of incorporating math in your daily. There are a number of competitions happening in-house where the coordinators of the Coding and Robotics program, Mrs. Wong, Mr. Aline, and Miss Boyce, they're doing class competitions where they have to create a path for the robots using the codes and breaking the codes. Then there's also the competition where the best shirt, the best project built from 3D shapes, and there is a Rubik's Cube competition. Who solves the Rubik's Cube the fastest? There was also a guess the number of marbles in a container competition. We had one student who was the closest to the mark. She was out by 1, and that consoles the amount of competitions we have today.
International news now. As a partial government shutdown blows past the 1-month mark, Democrats are demanding lawmakers shrink the size of the Department of Homeland Security's DHS funding lapse while leaving out the agency at the heart of the Trump's administration crackdown. They don't care about spending, people. They just don't want to fund ICE. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, in their view, can stay shut down. You see? Because they don't want ICE to remove dangerous criminals from off of the streets. You know it is to be the enemy of your own nation. That's what Democrats are doing at this point in time. We already said we'd open everything in the department except ICE. You see, it's all about politics, people. So the answer is yes. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, Democrat, of course, said when asked about partial funding for DHS. They're trying all types of ways to be able to prevent the Trump administration from securing the borders, number one, and getting very dangerous individuals off of American streets and in American communities and cities. Robert Mueller, who led the FBI from 2001 to 2013 and later served as special counsel investigating Russian interference in the 2016 election. The probe, of course, that found no criminal conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia, yet, of course, it shadowed much of the president's first term, has died. He was 81 years of age. That's an average age to pass away nowadays. A lot of people live into their late 80s and even 90s. Condolences to the family, of course, even though he basically participated in that shadowing and that sort of negative perception of Trump, even after Trump exited his first term in office. What I find strange as well, it was just a few days ago that Chuck Norris passed away. And then I think it was one of the major actors in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show that was in the late 90s or early 2000s. That actor, I can't remember his name, but he also passed away. And he was only 50-something years old. And now Robert Mueller has come and passed away. But, I mean, Robert Mueller he died at a respectable age. But I just find how so many people, once again, well-known individuals are passing away. And you know what they said about the guy, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer actor? They said that he died of natural causes. At the age of 50-something? Really, people? How come we never heard about people, middle-aged people dying from natural causes before the 2021 toxic injection was introduced? How come? Now for the interesting facts segment. In the book, Baba Courtney Holmes is making a real difference through his Tales for Trims program. Kids read books out loud while getting a haircut, earning free trims during special community events. Holmes listens, asks questions, and helps build reading skills and confidence at the same time. What began as a back-to-school effort has grown into a powerful way to support children who may lack resources at home. A simple idea proves that small actions can create lasting change in young lives and all. And this is wonderful, positive news in communities which will assist these young people when they get older to remain on what? On the right path.
Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News Travel Adventures. Montreal, Canada is a vibrant, bilingual metropolis offering a unique blend of European charm and North American energy, often described as the most European city in North America. Key highlights include the historic cobblestone streets of Old Montreal, the stunning Notre Dame Basilica, scenic views from Mount Royal, a bustling culinary scene, famous for poutine and bagels, and year-round festivals. Key highlights and areas: Old Montreal, Vieux Montreal, the historic heart with 17th century architecture, the Old Port, and the Notre Dame Basilica. Mount Royal Park, the city's namesake hill, designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, offering hiking and panoramic views from the Condiront-le-Camp. Plateau Mont Royal, a charming residential neighborhood known for its colorful houses, spiral staircases, and vibrant murals. Join us again tomorrow as we continue to travel to places around the world together in 60 seconds.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's headline news. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.